Hi, I'm Diane Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest, a business advisor, an author, and the creator of The Clear Path to Cash, none other than Mr. Mike Milan.
Hey, so live from San Antonio, it's Mike Milan, Cash Flow Mike.
Well, live through all social media, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Mike. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yeah, Daniel, hey, thanks for having me. I'll tell you what, I mean, it was one of the cool things. I woke up this morning and says, I get to talk to Daniel Lucas on Book 101. So, I mean, that was one of the things that made my day better immediately.
Yes.
As you said, I am a business advisor. I'm an author. I'm a podcaster as well. I built a program called The Clear Path to Cash, which is 8 steps to maximizing cash in any business. And what's interesting is that I've built 14 companies, right? And a lot of the things that I teach, I also teach at the Graduate School of Banking at the University of Colorado. So I teach bankers on how to work with small business owners. So it's one of those things where I've been able to take from the problems that I had, create techniques that all of us can do, right? I have a problem growing hair apparently, but all of us can do the math that I've got.
So where's the money hiding, and how it can find cash inside your business AI? That will be our topic for today, Mr. Mike, and what is all about. But before that, can you tell us about your book?
Yeah, so I've got 3 books. The first one I wrote is called "Don't Be a Dumb Business Owner," right? And that's that's one of the most popular ones. And dumb doesn't mean unintelligent; it means I
Yes.
don't understand my business. Don't understand my business. So, and it came about when I was, sitting at the kitchen table with myself, and I couldn't figure out one of the problems I was having with cash in my business. And I'm like going, man, I'm not dumb. I just don't understand my business right now. And it kind of clicked, right? Like some things do, like a light bulb. So that one does follow the clear path to cash. So if you're looking for just a textbook type thing that's written in kind of a funny style, go check out Don't Be a Dumb Business Owner. That one also morphed into the 7-minute conversation. And the 7-minute conversation is how to analyze any business's financial statements in 7 minutes or less. So that's one of the other books I have. And then the one I just wrote was called Don't Tell Me What to Do. And that's about how to have a better financial conversation, because none of us like to be told what to do. I mean, my first job, Daniel, I was a state trooper, right? So you know as well as I do that you can't tell a state trooper anything.
For sure. So all in all, you have 3 books. So tell us the 7-minute conversation. What is all about?
Yeah. So, yeah, basically when I was talking with business owners, they will get these financial statements from their accountant, and it'll be the income statement and the balance sheet and the cash flow statement. And they'll come to me and say, hey, they keep giving me these reports, but I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how to read these things. What am I supposed to use them for? So I built 6 calculations, a couple of things from the income statement, a couple of things from the cash flow statement, and a couple of things from the balance sheet that when you put them together points to where the biggest problems are in your business. And so you don't have to do a deep dive full analysis if you just want to start learning how to read financial statements, or if you want a quick glimpse into one, use these 6 calculations that are in the book, The 7-Minute Conversation.
Interesting books, Mr. Mike. So let's talk about that topic. Let's start with the mindset shift. When you say finding money hiding in a business, are we talking mostly about cutting costs, or is it AI uniquely capable of revealing entirely new streams of revenue and efficiency that humans often overlook?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I want to caution people on AI. I built an app called the Clear Path to Cash, and if you let AI run wild, it will run wild, and it will tell you Well, just flat out lies sometimes, right? Or just be wrong. So when you're using, yeah. So when you're using AI, especially if you're going to do financial analysis on your largest investment, which is generally your business or your home, you've got to really focus in on what you're asking AI to return. So
Mhm.
I've built 23 tools inside of one app, right? There's 23 tools inside of an app. So some people when they look at it says, oh man, this might be overwhelming, but it's just like your smartphone. I don't use every app on my smartphone every single day, but I use them when I need them. And what I've been able to use AI for is to identify the times when you need to use a specific tool to say, hey, I'm looking at your financial statements that you've just uploaded. I think you have a cash flow problem, or I think you have a debt problem, or whatever, we've trained it to look for. And if it's one of those, it's going to tell you what tool to use next. So it's kind of like a guiding system that allows people to not waste time looking for problems that aren't there, but it focuses in on where actually cash is leaking out of your business.
Many leaders think of an AI as a massive, expensive project. How do you frame the treasure hunt tool that can pay for itself by uncovering low-hanging financial fruit first?
Yeah, I mean, here's the expense that I've had with it, right? And I've been working with it for several years now. The expense that I have is time, right? It's not expensive, when you think about just dollars to use or to try to connect with AI. What it takes is your time. You can sit down in front of an AI tool and for hours just trying to get it to do the exact right thing, right? There's a training process that happens with any AI model. And in order to keep it within the guardrails, you've got to spend some time with it to make sure it's returning the exact product you're looking for. So I actually have to compare it to what I do manually to make oh yeah, it's right, it's doing it correctly. So
Mhm.
it's just a lot of cycles. It's a lot of time in front of a computer trying to make sure AI is on track.
So, Mr. Mike, for the skeptical business owner who thinks they are already optimized everything, what's a common hidden source of leakage or lost opportunity that AI is particularly good at spotting?
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Even if you think you're doing everything correctly, you can still do a little better, right? So
Mm.
I've got this technique called mining your business for hidden cash, and what it does is it takes six calculations that we kind of either look at on occasion or we look at just all the time, but we're not seeing it the same way because when you change the way you look at something, you're going to see it differently. So, and by matter of fact, in that book you've got up there on the screen right now, this technique is explained in that book. And I sort six calculations into two groups. One is cash generating activities, how money actually comes into the company and through it. And then the other is cash conversion activities, which is how long it takes to come through it. So think about it like vertically, money coming in and down through like a profit and loss statement. And then horizontally is the number of days it takes for things to happen. So the first thing I want to do is get everybody to be at the industry average, right? That's kind of a good place to start. An industry average is like getting a C in business. So, you at least want to be average. But then if I'm telling you you're getting a C, that also implies that you can get an A or a B, and that becomes your goals. Maybe I can move this one up just a little bit more. Maybe I can do a little bit better, squeeze a little bit more out, get more margin for my pricing, negotiate with my vendors just a little bit better. There are ways for you to still do a little bit better than the average. And that's what I help people understand and find.
Yes, and thank you for sharing that, Mr. Mike. So let's talk about the book itself. What is the specific costly behaviors of a business owner who does not understand their business? Is it more about ignoring numbers, chasing shiny objects, or something else?
I think it's a basic misunderstanding of how to use the data that you're given, right? So, I mean, if I ask business owners sometimes, what reports do you use to run your business? Some people will say, well, right here, this bank statement. I know if I got money or not, right? I got a bank statement. Well, that's all it's going to tell you is that I have a good day or a bad day. Do I have money or not? But that's as
Mm-hmm.
far as it goes. If you use the profit and loss statement, income statement, some people call it, the income statement is about how much you've sold, how much you spent, and what's left over. Well, it ends every month or every quarter or every year. So it's only going to tell you if you had a good month or a bad quarter or a good year, right? It's just it stops and then it starts over. Well, most people don't understand how it starts over. Like going, man, we lost a lot of money in January. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll go get them in February. Well, how do you get to start over in business? Well, you don't. You just remove the result. If you made money, it goes onto the balance sheet in the form of retained earnings. If you lost money, it goes onto the balance sheet in the form of retained earnings. The balance sheet is what most people ignore. They know that two numbers have to match. The assets have to equal the summation of liabilities plus equity. If those match, they think balance sheet works. But the balance sheet is actually the culmination of every single decision you've ever made. It is the living history of the company, what you owe, what you own, who owns what, how many bank loans you got, how many credit cards you got. Everything about your business is on one sheet. And anybody that knows how to read it can tell if you have a good business or bad business. So what I do is I help people understand how to read that balance sheet a little bit better. Now, the last statement that we talk about is the cash flow statement. And the cash flow statement is the tattletale of the business, right? That's basically what it does. No matter what story you tell a banker or an investor or somebody that knows how to read a cash flow statement, it is going to tell them where the money came from and what you did with it, no matter how great a story you can tell. So it tells on you. Just know that.
Yes. Well, Mr. Mike, what is the most common aha moment or painful lesson that makes business owner realize they are dumb about their finances? I
Uh,
like the word dumb.
Well, yeah, it happens to all of us. If you've ever
Mm-hmm.
laid in bed and couldn't sleep, you've lost sleep, you've had anxiety attacks, you've fought about money in your relationships, any of those things, if you've ever just been stressed about not being able to have enough money to pay a bill, to do something next,
Mm-hmm.
that's when we all feel dumb. We're like, going, how is this so? Some people will make money on paper, but not have any in the bank account. You'll see it. You'll say, wait a second, I'm paying taxes on all this money I made. How come I don't have any? And that's usually a cash flow issue, which is a timing issue. You can make money and profit, but not get paid, right? Because you send an invoice to a customer, it's recorded as a sale, but
Mm-hmm.
you never got the money from the customer yet, right? So you got to understand there's a difference between profit and a difference between cash, and I focus on the cash because I can spend cash. So everything that I want people to look at is how to put more cash in the bank account, regardless of what profit says.
So, Mr. Mike, is being dumb often phase of enthusiastic ignorance, or can successful revenue generating businesses still be fundamentally dumb about their money?
Yeah, I mean, being dumb, we'll say, isn't about being a terrible business. There are good businesses that have cash flow problems, right? I mean,
Mm,
if you look at, I
yes.
mean, and Michael Dell of Dell Computers, nobody thinks of that as a bad business, but there was a point in time when he had a massive cash flow problem because, and his famous quote is, "We were so busy watching the speedometer that we forgot to look at the gas gauge." And what he was talking about, he was trying to make more sales, but he ran out of cash to fund it. Now, if you go back to how that happened for him, it was in the beginning to buy a Dell computer, you had to go onto a website or fill out a form that says, I want this monitor, this keyboard, this much memory. You remember that? I don't know if you remember that or not, but you built your own computer. And as soon as you sent them the money, they had the money up front, they would build your computer and send the computer back to you. And then a store called CompUSA or CompuServe became the big, it's like the Best Buy now, right? So, but in the beginning, there were these computer stores that opened up, and then HP and Apple and Compaq all put their, pre-built computers in a box, put it on the shelf. So instead of people waiting 6 weeks for a Dell computer, they could go in today and get a computer tonight, right? Just right off the shelf. Well, Dell had to do that. But that's where they made not the mistake. They didn't plan for it properly because they used to get money up front. Now they had to put the money up front, build the computer, and wait for it to be sold in the store, and then wait for the store to pay them. That created a huge cash problem because they had to buy all the parts up front. So it was a really good business lesson from a great business that did a dumb thing.
You talk about a clear path because beyond just increased sales, what is the first financial metric or report business owner must master to even see the path?
Yeah, I think the biggest rule that I can teach people, especially on a short podcast like this,
Mm-hmm.
is called expense control, right? And there's a hard and fast mathematical formula to expense control. And the math is this. First of all, gross profit is the amount of money you have to spend. I don't care how much sales you have. You can't spend sales. You can only spend gross profit, right? Because in sales, you have to buy the cost of goods sold, like the price of the t-shirt, and then you only can spend what's left. So gross profit. So when gross profit decreases, you have to cut spending, your operating expenses, by the same amount, right? And if you do that, profit will be the same no matter sales. So the rule is this. When gross profit decreases, decrease operating expense at the same amount. Gross profit is the amount of money you have to spend. Operating expense is how you spend it. When you have less money to spend, you should spend less money, right? And we miss that, right? We miss
Yes.
that because we're busy doing our jobs all day long, doing the things that run our business. We forget to take a step back and see what all these little transactions add up to at the end of the month or end of the quarter.
Mr. Mike, as a business advisor, an author, and creator of the Clear Path Podcast, what are your short term and long term goals?
Yeah, so short term right now, I'm pushing out the new AI. I've got a new advertising campaign that I'm testing out this year, and it's about a tool that you buy that's almost helpful, right? So my short term goal is to promote my product through a new advertising idea that I've got. About people that have bought tools that think that they're going to solve a problem and then they end up short. They're like, oh, it doesn't really work the way I thought it did. So that's the short term goal. Long term goal is that I'm on a mission to eliminate cash flow as a reason that businesses fail, and that's one of the reasons why I work with other business owners or other accountants or things like that or bankers, is to put our thought, put our expertise into as many business owners' hands as we can.
Interesting, and good luck to your goals, Mr. Mike, and looking forward for more success. And I'm inviting you to be my guest also on Entrepreneurship 101, and let's talk about business mindset. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Yeah, so believe it or not, my grandfather gave me the best piece of advice ever, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
struggling. I had too many things going on at once. And he just took me aside and says, you can only control what you can control, right? You can't fight battles that haven't happened, because I would try to build in these scenarios so that nothing could hurt my business. Well, when you do that, I'm fighting battles that haven't existed or haven't taken place, or things that won't ever happen in my business. So I'm spending a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to make my business perfect, when all I have to do is control the things that I can control and react to things as they happen, right? Fight the battle when it actually happens.
Yes, I thank you for that advice, Mr. Mike. And can you please recommend a book of books that influence your journey?
Well, I'm going to go old school, right? I've always been a big fan of Good to Great, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
hedgehog concept. And that goes right with to control what you can control. And if you're not familiar with that hedgehog concept that's in the book Good to Great, it talks about how, the coyote's always trying to get to the hedgehog. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll try all kinds of different tactics. I mean, sneaking up behind, coming from around, but all of the things he does never quite to work out. It's almost like the coyote and Roadrunner. Right? He'll always try these things. You remember the commercial, the cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
But all the hedgehog does is the same thing over and over and over again. The coyote, or the wolf, I guess, I think it's a wolf. I can't remember what it was now, but has all these things that he's not good at, but he's trying all these different techniques. The hedgehog is just perfect at one thing. He rolls up into a ball, spikes out, and his predator can never get to him. So I like to think of my business that way. I've got to be the best in the world at the one thing that I do, which is teach cash flow.
Yes, I want to roll myself too, just like the hedgehog, Mr. Mike.
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. But well, thank you for that recommended book. And once AI finds an opportunity like an unprofitable client or wasteful process, how does the leadership team need to act differently to actually capture the hidden cash? What is the human change required? Mr. Mike.
Yeah, the human change is to get out of the rut, right? Which is
Mm.
if you find yourself in a position, it's because of the things you've been doing, right? And I think I said it at the top of the podcast was when you change the way you look at something, you'll see it differently, right? It's almost like a picture. You'll see a picture like there might be a butterfly in the foreground, and you don't see the couple having a picnic in the background, or vice versa.
Mm.
So that's what I teach people to do is not look at the financial statements maybe the way they had been, or not look at their business processes the way they had been, but to take a step back and look at it from a different angle. And that's what I teach is some different angles. So when people look at my math, they go, I wouldn't have thought about it that way. That's usually the most common thing that I get.
Well, Mr. Mike, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in 5th season, abstract poetry in 3rd season, my book 101 review is 6th season this year, comedy 101 3rd season, and food 101 in 6th season as well, geography 101, love letters, movie 101 review, music 101 4th season, science 101, sex 101 3rd season, and my baby podcast, trivia 101, law 101, mental health 101, motivation 101, entrepreneurship 101, and of course my Bible verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Mike, what's your own one sentence to restore or retort to the business owner who says, "This sounds great, but I don't have the budget for an AI intuitive right now"?
All right. Well, my one sentence for you is that money has an energy, right? And you can't chase it, you have to attract it. Right. It's one of those things. And when I say it's energy, it's either a negative energy, it's causing you stress, or it's a positive energy because you feel like you have enough. So in any case, don't chase money, attract it.
Attract money, Mr. Mike. Please do come over on Entrepreneurship 101 and let's talk about how to attract money. Money, come to me, as they said. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Mr. Mike, thank you for having this knowledge that sharing to us. And I hope our business or entrepreneurs out there, please put into your mind, money, come to me. So, Mr. Mike, can you please invite our listeners to support your books, your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Well, right now, you've got it up on Amazon. I've got the 3 different books that you can buy. If you want to just take a free first step, go to cashflowmike.com, and I've got a free lesson, that 7-minute conversation. You can get the digital book for free. You can get a video lesson that accompanies it, and I'll teach you that 7-minute conversation in less than an hour.
Less than an hour. I like that, Mr. Mike. One more question. If you had to recommend one single report or analysis to run with an AI tool for the fastest, most believable cash discovery, what would it be?
It would definitely be mine. Mining your business for hidden cash. There's another part of it called the fast money formula, which determines how big a financial gap your business has. So if you're looking at that, look at the cash conversion cycle and go look up the term, the financial gap or the cash gap.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Mike Milan because if you support him for sure, more and more cash flow will rise. So, Mr. Mike, Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, nice job. Thanks, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.